Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Medify, so just click the link in the description. It'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got another exciting team today. For those of you who have been following from the start, this is a very familiar looking team, perhaps. Shadow Victreebel hasn't been getting so much love recently with the poison buffs, but ironically, Shadow Granbull is actually rose to dominance here just with all the dark types that are currently in the meta. So this is the team. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. Yeah, let's get right into this video. So first question, and I know I don't want to hear anybody ask this question now because I'm going to answer it right away. Yes, Granbull probably has to be Shadow here. It's pretty important that you get this bonus damage on your Charmer or Razor Leafer. So essentially, if you have a Charmer or Razor Leafer, you want to be running Shadow, unless it's not an option like Tropius or something like that. The team is Shadow Granbull, Vigoroth, and Galarian Stunfisk. Very similar playstyle if you played a lot of the Shadow Victreebel, Vigoroth, Bastiodon team back in the day. It's a little less RPS-y because Galarian Stunfisk doesn't win its matchups as hard as Bastiodon does. But essentially this is your classic ABB team where you want to be swapping out of Granbull at some point in almost every game unless your Granbull has taken out the threat it needs to take out. And Vigoroth, obviously, the big decisions, the big skill in this team is going to be how you use your Vigoroth, timing your moves correctly, trying to make sure that you can win back, or knowing whether you should try to win back switch or if you should just be going for shield advantage, because that is going to be the difference. With the Victreebel team, you kind of just always have to go for switch, but Galarian Stunfisk allows for some other plays, I guess. But yeah, let's take a look at some of this gameplay. That's the best part about these games. They're also really short. So Bastiodon lead, this looks pretty bad, but we're going to swap right into Vigoroth here, see what comes out the back. And it looks like it's going to be some form of Grass Hole here. Got Venusaur taking huge damage from Vigoroth. And I'm going to shield here and try and win back switch advantage, recognizing that, hey, I actually need my Galarian Stunfisk, or I really want my Galarian Stunfisk on this Bastiodon. But they also recognize that, I guess. And because it's Shadow Venusaur, I actually win this in the 2-shield. Regular Venusaur will win this in the 2-shield, but with Shadow Venusaur, I'm able to win back switch advantage here. So that's part of the skill involved, is reading when you can win back switch. If it's regular Venusaur, you kind of just have to go for the 0-shield where Vigoroth will win. In this case, Azu comes back in. Now that I have shields down on Granbull, it's actually kind of a bit scary of a situation. Yeah, this one is quite scary because they'll just be able to take down the Granbull here with whatever they throw. It's going to be a Hydro Pump. And we're going to go into the Galarian Stunfisk and go straight for this Earthquake. They make a great attempt to catch, but even if they had caught, I should be able to just farm down with my Stunfisk. I undercharge this so I can end this matchup with a Earthquake. And then I'll be able to grab the KO on the Azu, but it doesn't come to that. They realize that I undercharged and was able to pull that off. Later in this video, I'm going to fail an undercharge and lose because of it. So it is hard to do an undercharge, but it's something that you might need to do if Bastiodon catches a move. Cofagrigus lead. Ooh, this game, we have lag involved. I kept this set in because I think I lagged and then my opponent lagged in the next game. So versus Cofagrigus, you can take it down in the 1-shield just without throwing a move, which is what you should do. They swap into Lapras, so I'm going to swap into Vigoroth, which is my best answer. We're going to no-shield to Surf here. And then we're going to throw 1, 2... They throw, so I'm going to shield here, and then I recognize that I can farm down in this situation, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the game lags, and instead of getting another counter through, they get another free Ice Shard while I'm lagging, and not only do I lose all my energy there, but this Lapras ends with a move as well. So unfortunately, because of the lag that happened, I'm not going to be able to I guess compete with the rest of this team. We'll see what's in the back. Don't quite remember. But I'm just going to throw Rock Slides at this Cofagrigus. And it's a Bastiodon, so... yeah, this would have been quite the easy win had I not lagged there. But you know what? This set's going to show you that you lose some because of lag, but then you're going to win some because of lag too. And I think my opponent, I forgot to take this game out, but I think they just lag out. I'll probably end up skipping through that because I don't think it's fun to watch someone farm someone down. If this is the game. So Politoed lead. Shadow Granbull. I can't. It's pretty good here. I can't really swap out necessarily. So I'm going to shield once because I'm going to have to shield once anyways in this matchup. And then they're going to throw another Weather Ball. And then just going to take down that Politoed. I'm going to throw a close combat at whatever comes in. So in this case, a G-Fisk. I want to even those shields back up so that my Stunfisk has a chance. In this case, I actually choose to let my Granbull go down. You're right. Because Vigoroth is the much better answer here against their Stunfisk. And then they just lag out, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so lag ruining 2 games in a row. One in my favor, one against me. So it is what it is. But yeah, I wait a bit just to see if they're going to come back, but it doesn't look like they will. So let's fast forward a little bit. It was a Deoxys in the back. It was going to be a very close game for sure. Deoxys and Galarian Stunfisk and 0 shield. I think Galarian Stunfisk has the advantage. So, but it would be close regardless. And here we go with Shadow Granbull in the lead. Neither of us want to switch out of this. So we're just going to take it down. I'm trying to figure out how to play the mirror in my head right now, and I'm not sure which Pokemon is best to come in with. I see them come with the Stunfisk first, so I'm going to come in with my Vigoroth. They're going to throw a move. I have to think really hard about if I want to shield or not. I shield the Earthquake, because I feel like if I just farm this G-Fisk all the way down, I should be able to throw 3 Body Slams at this Vigoroth with the huge energy advantage I have. And instead it's a Scrafty. So a little bit scary. I played this completely based on the fact that it's a Vigoroth. So I'm going to try and get these Body Slams off as soon as I can. But of course, we're probably going to see some shields come out of the Scrafty. And then my Stunfisk is going to have to finish the job. So I switch into my Stunfisk here at half health. Earthquake does KO with a couple of Mud Shots. So as long as I survive a couple of power-up punches here, I didn't want to let them farm my Vigoroth all the way down. I should be able to get this KO here. And yeah, we're just going to let this Earthquake fly. Absolutely fly. And there we go. Simple as that. I believe that's a 4-1, or technically, I guess, a 3-0, because if you remove the lag games, but it is what it is. There's not a lot of non-lag games nowadays in GBL, so, or sets without lag. So it's kind of hard to cut them out. I did have to cut out another game as well in my last set. I queued in with a Sylph team by accident. Alright, so as you lead, this one's kind of important, how to play. Not many leads you actually have to know how to play. In this case, you just throw your moves, make sure you're counting their moves. Counted 6, we're going to shield whatever, but you got to throw Crunch before they get to their next move. If they don't shield Crunch, you take them out before their move. If they do shield Crunch, then you got to shield again, or you can catch on Vig if they're throwing Ice Beam. So that's what I would do. I'd probably try and catch the Ice Beam on Vigoroth. In this case, they come in, we're going to bring in the Vigoroth to draw out their fighter, in this case Medicham. They're going to throw Ice Punch here. I only have 1 shield remaining for my Granbull, and remember, every single Body Slam you get off here, it reduces the amount of charms you have to throw to take down this Medicham, increasing your safety. So make sure you are throwing your Body Slams. This is not about keeping the Medicham at high health so you can farm it. There's no such thing as farming for a Charmer. You're just trying to take it out. So Granbull's able to take out the Medicham with a shield. In comes Bastiodon, and the rest is history. Galarian Stunfisk has such a dominant matchup against Bastiodon. It's kind of what Bastiodon does to the Flyers. G Stunfisk does to it. So that's what you're trying to do. Altaria lead, this is the best, one of the best leads you can ask for. In this case, you can stay in versus whatever comes in. And normally you will want to, because Altaria doesn't come with a lot of anti-Shadow Granbull stuff a lot of the time. And if it does, it's the swap. So in this case, we're going to shield once, take down the Jellicent. The Altaria has a bad matchup against Stunfisk as well. So you can actually just stay in, keep your Stunfisk for the Altaria, and then make, as long as Vigoroth can handle whatever comes back in. So the Sea King is going to get quite a bit of farm, poison jabbing down the Granbull, but it's quite squishy. So even with a bit of an energy advantage, Vigoroth should be able to do a pretty good job here at taking it down. And even if it can't, then, well, Galarian Stunfisk resists those poison jabs and can probably mudshot down from that range too. They decide to let it go down, but at this point you bring in the Galarian Stunfisk, and that's all she wrote. So this matchup isn't as dominating as Bastiodon versus Altaria. You do have to throw your moves, but there's not too much that Altaria can do without a huge shield or energy or damage advantage against Galarian Stunfisk. So those Altaria leads are almost free wins. Almost always free wins. We have a Stunfisk lead. Not a good lead. We're going to swap into Vigoroth. In comes Jumpluff. I thought it was going to be Tropius for sure. Going to throw with good timing. Throwing the body slams here. And no shields. This Jumpluff. I know you can't win back switch versus Tropius. They're paying attention. So I was not going to try and win back switch versus this Jumpluff. The other thing is, it's not a Bastiodon lead. It's a Galarian Stunfisk lead. So you cannot give up shield advantage here. Which is the important part. So I'm going to no-shield this Aerial Ace. I'm going to grab shield advantage with this Body Slam, because they don't want to give up Switch. We're going to come in with this Granbull and try and take down this Jumpluff. No-shield the Granbull, because we do need shield advantage to win the Stunfisk versus Stunfisk matchup, right? So I'm going to come in with the Stunfisk now. I'm going to shield whatever. We can't risk letting an Earthquake through, so I'm gonna throw a nice big Earthquake here. Did not overcharge, which was my fault, because now I'm in a lot of trouble versus this Pelipper. If I had just thrown one extra Mud Shot, this game would have been very easy, but I decided to get extremely, I don't want to say greedy, I just get extremely stupid. I get real stupid right there, and I don't charge up despite the fact that I just threw my Earthquake. That's what you need to be doing, is charging up. I know I'm going to lose CMP versus this Pelipper, so I was trying to sneak my move through instead of throwing it. Go for the fast move denial. And then I think I'm going to try and catch a move. So we're going to switch out, catch the move on Granbull. Have to make these big plays because I made the mistake earlier. And that's the thing is, you have to, if you make bad plays, you got to make good plays to make up for them. Hopefully you just make good plays instead. But in this case, this catch was only necessary because I messed up beforehand. Yeah, good plays aren't always flashy plays. Catches are nice and flashy, but I would have much rather just decided to throw an extra Mud Shot instead at the Stunfisk and won the game. Alright, Venusaur lead. I switch out of this immediately, but I've been doing some theory crafting since then, and I think I want to stay in the future and 2-shield Shadow Granbull through the Venusaur, because it's likely that your backline is good against whatever's in the back. Usually it's Venu double tank, which you can handle pretty well if you just stay in and eliminate the Venusaur. In this case, they swap Vigoroth into my Vigoroth. The Vigoroth that swaps in first has the advantage, so my Vigoroth is able to take shield advantage. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to give up my Granbull here, because I think there's a G-Fisk in the back, which is why I did that. So I'm going to bring in the Galarian Stunfisk here. They're going to go for the Frenzy Plant. I know I have to save shields for Earthquake, so we're going to shield, or... Wow, okay. I guess I didn't save shields for Earthquake. I'm hoping it's a Bastiodon, I guess, because I think my win condition versus Galarian Stunfisk is non-existent. So we're going to shield that up. And once again, it's a Bastiodon coming in. That was the win condition there, as long as it wasn't a Stunfisk. So we're going to throw this at the Bastiodon. Oh yes, this is the player who wished me GG on Twitter afterwards. Yep, good game for sure. That was a good attempt to sack the Bastiodon. But yeah, if you either undercharge or if they're at full health, you can farm them down and get a decent amount of damage off. So as long as you end with that Earthquake again, you should be able to take out the original threat. So we're gonna be able to beat that Venusaur lead. Honestly, I probably should have stayed in, and just 2-shield the Venusaur, but it is what it is. Medicham lead, this is where we want to see it. In comes Galarian Stunfisk, and it's looking like it's going to be a Medicham double steal. In this case, the Earthquake. I really should have shielded the Earthquake. In hindsight, I was kicking myself. I probably should keep the Vigoroth healthy because they outpace you a little bit if you go straight for the Bulldoze, which is what I do here. And it gets a little bit tricky. So I'm going to shield up this Rock Slide. I'm counting their moves, making sure that I get as much farm out of this matchup as possible. I'm going to throw out 4 instead of 5. Because I don't know if there's invisible moves, etc. But they shield anyways, so I'm going to shield again. and should be able to just get to this Body Slam, but it's really risky. I really should have shielded the Earthquake. My opponent made a really good play trying to get out of that switch advantage. So we're going to go back in with the Granbull, and now it's a bit tricky too. So, oh, I lose this game. So this is what I'm talking about. I didn't realize their Bastiodon is not XL at all. You look how much damage my Mudshots are doing. I didn't realize it. So I just throw this full power for no reason. And because I throw it full power, their win condition essentially is to farm my Stunfisk down. What I should have done is throw it low power, finish this with a couple Rock Slides, stall the Switch Clock with 2 Rock Slides, and then gone into Granbull. But I messed up, and instead I'm going to have to eat a Ice Punch, Psychic, followed by an Ice Punch. So lose by just 1 turn because I made a really boneheaded play. But that's the thing. All these losses so far have either been avoidable plays or lag. So this team does give you a chance to win it in a lot of these scenarios. Even with bad leads, we won against Stunfisk leads. I've won a lot against Nidoqueen leads too. Nidoqueen Double Dark. It's kind of tough, but you can definitely win depending on what their darks are in the back. Swampert lead. So this is great. They're probably going to swap out right away after they realize they're only going to get 1 Hydro Cannon off. Note that regular Swampert can get 2 Hydro Cannons off, so you might want to catch the second one. But Shadow Swampert does not. They swap into Frostlass, and I decide, you know what? Instead of sacrificing my Stunfisk here, I'm just going to double shield and take out their Frostlass. So Granbull essentially taking out 2 Pokemon here. Whatever Pokemon comes back in, they're still going to be locked in by the switch timer. So it's Abomasnow. We're going to come in with Vigoroth. And I'm just going to be throwing those counters until I'm about to get KO'd. I don't want to let this Abomasnow switch out just yet. I want to make sure that I am locking it in with this Vigoroth for as long as possible and stalling the switch clock now. So now 3 moves have been thrown and 4 moves have been thrown. So the switch clock will be back up. Vigoroth is great at stalling that switch clock. They actually come in with Swampert preemptively. I'm going to come in with the Granbull. I only need a couple hits to take it out. Just kidding, 1 hit is enough because I've got the Crunch. And then I should be able to just take down this Abomasnow. Just kidding. Again, wow, I've been wrong a lot in this set. I'm going to come in with the Galarian Stunfisk to just finish this Abomasnow off. Yeah, this is the Swampert Double Ice. None of those Pokemon are bulky enough to handle Shadow Granbull. And it kind of just charms through the whole team. That'll happen a lot. If there's not something that resists charm or deals poison damage back, it's going to be a tough time. Once again, I'm going to swap out of this Venusaur lead, but I really should have stayed in. Because I think 2 shielding through Venusaur is the best play. Now, I wouldn't catch a move on Vigoroth either, because catching a Frenzy Plant sucks. Let's get real. But I'm going to try and fight for switch here. Instead, they bring in Mandibuzz. And Mandibuzz is a Pokemon that Vigoroth actually does quite well against. I let the first one through to make them think I'm not going to fight for switch at all. Throw a Body Slam there. Throw with bad timing. Gonna throw another Body Slam there, hopefully hoping for the CMB tie, I guess. I guess I am going to let my Big go down, because I think they can force it with the shield already. Big goes down. We're going to come in with Granbull. Could have come in with G-Fisk as well, but they actually swap out. And I decide that I'm going to do my Charm Down strategy, except much later. So hopefully this is Venu Double Dark, but instead it's Venu Azu. 3, 4, 5. You're going to have to swap out. This is a tough game. So I catch the Ice Beam on Galarian Stunfisk. Very important. I realize now that I just need to get those shields down before I can do any damage with Stunfisk. They clearly don't have Hydro Pump. They're throwing another Ice Beam here. And my Stunfisk, going to go for the Rock Slide. Bait. But truly, I just need Rock Slide damage. And then go for another Bait to get rid of another shield here. And then, once again, throw a Rock Slide to eliminate this Azu, because I've got close combat ready to go. I throw the close combat here because it does more damage than Crunch, and I know Crunch might not take it out, and then we're going to be able to charm down that Mandibuzz before it takes out Granbull as well. So had to make a lot of plays there to win that game. They were trying to farm down Stunfisk so that they could land an Ice Beam on the Granbull, but did not let that happen. Altaria lead, so essentially a free win. Unless I just jinx myself here, especially if they stay in. So if they stay in, I know that they've got something in the back that's weak against Granbull. Gonna shield once and just take this thing all the way down. Like, you can see me clicking on Vigoroth already, and in comes Scrafty. So yeah, that's why they didn't switch. There's a Scrafty in the back. And then a Registeel that I just have to deal with my remaining Pokemon, which is not too big of a deal. Scrafty's going to be able to get a foul play off here on Vigoroth. Still not even take it down. Going to throw a Body Slam. They don't shield because they know Scrafty's locked into Granbull. Pretty smart play, but unfortunately, Registeel can't really deal with Vigoroth very well without throwing a move. And even if it does, it takes half its health before that happens. I'm going to go with Galarian Stunfisk to soak a Focus Blast. And this is because Shadow Granbull does a lot more damage to Registeel than Galarian Stunfisk does with its fast moves. So I'm going to throw the Crunch here just in case. I don't think I need to. But maybe going for the defense debuff and then just Charm all the way down. This dog wants this trash can to get out. Actually, more of a raccoon if hunting trash cans. But Shadow Granbull easily able to take down Registeel there. Is there another game? Oh, there is. One last game. In this set, we have a Galarian Stunfisk lead. Yeah, this is probably the hardest lead, Galarian Stunfisk. We did win one earlier, but oh boy, are these matchups hard. They come with Jellicent, and it's Bubble Jellicent. If it's Hex Jellicent with Bubble Beam or with Ice Beam, you can win. Switch advantage back if you land 2 Bulldozes first and then start shielding. I've done it. So the plan is to get them into this range that this Bulldoze would get this Jellicent to. And then you kind of just throw Body Slams at it while shielding the Ice Beams. And the Hexes don't do anything. And you outpace it enough that you can actually win. So that's how you can turn Switch back on. But in this case, it's Galarian Stunfisk lead, so you can't. I couldn't afford to go shields down. In this case, we're going to soak the energy on Granbull. Actually just go for a Rock Slide there. There's no way they were even at the Earthquake. Going to come in with the Galarian Stunfisk. This is tough. I shield up an Earthquake, so that's keeping me in the game. Gonna bait with a Rock Slide. Hopefully they fall for it, but they don't. So you know what? When that fails, just keep baiting, right? Because it'll work out. Just kidding. This is like a PSA on how not to play right now. Just keep baiting. Look, my opponent goes straight for moves. I bait, I lose. So I guess this is what I've been saying all along. In comes Confusion Crest. If it were Psycho Gut Crest, maybe I had a chance. But with Confusion Crest, no, that consistent damage is too much for Granbull to handle. And that is all she wrote. I've climbed a little bit further than this as well. Trying to make up for all my losses in Master League. But it is what it is. This is a super fun team. It's very similar. I know a lot of you guys are probably missing Shadow Victreebel. A lot of you guys aren't missing it at all. So I'm sorry. But a lot of you are. So this is kind of a pretty good replacement-ish team. I don't think it's quite as strong as the old Shadow Victreebel team used to be. But I think that's just a product of XL Pokemon kind of outbulking heavy fast move pressure teams. So you can't really just Razor Leaf through like a Medicham anymore. XL Medicham. It's tough. Stunfisk, you can't even Razor Leaf through it. It's not even XL. So things did get tougher for fast move pressure teams, but I think as long as the meta stays this dark, then Shadow Granbull is has absolutely play for sure. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching, and I've actually got another video coming out in less than 24 hours, so stay tuned.